The Treasure of Captain Thornwell. Chapter 1. The Attic Discovery. The attic was a world apart from the rest of Lily's grandmother's house. Where the kitchen bustled with the smell of cinnamon tea and the tick of a grandfather clock, the attic was silent, filled with the heavy stillness of things long forgotten. Lily pushed the creaky door open, and a cloud of dust rose into the sunlight that slanted through a tiny round window. "Ooh," Mateo coughed, waving his hand in front of his face. "If I die up here from dust, you better write me an epic obituary." Lily giggled. "Stop being dramatic. It's just an attic." They stepped carefully over boxes of holiday decorations and stacks of yellowed newspapers. Their flashlight beams cut through the gloom. And then Lily saw it, half buried under folded quilts, a chest. Its wood was scarred with scratches, its brass lock broken long ago. Mateo was the first to crouch. "Now this is promising." They heaved the lid open, and inside lay brittle papers, coils of rope, a rusted compass, and a scroll tied with fraying red string. Lily untied it cautiously, and the parchment unfurled in her hands. It was a map. Trails wound through forests and rivers, little stars marked the edges, and at one corner sat a bold, black X. At the bottom, faint but clear, was a signature, Captain J. Thornwell. Mateo's jaw dropped. "Lily, do you know what this is?" "A drawing," she guessed. "No," Mateo said, grinning ear to ear. "It's a treasure map." And though Lily laughed, her heart gave a quick, excited thump. Chapter 2. Clues in the Margins. They spread the map out on Lily's bedroom floor, careful not to tear its fragile edges. A lamp cast warm light over the faded ink. Along the margins, tiny scribbles curled between symbols. Mateo traced one with his finger. "Listen to this. Follow the river of glass until the stone of carving speaks." River of glass. Lily frowned. That could mean a creek, or maybe the lake near the woods. Mateo's eyes gleamed. "Exactly. This is a puzzle." Another note read, "Where the oak's roots claw the earth, secrets lie waiting." They exchanged a look. Every line felt like a riddle daring them to solve it. Mateo leaned back, grinning. "Tomorrow, we go. We pack snacks, flashlights, shovels. No one needs to know." Lily hesitated. Her parents thought she was cautious, the careful one. But part of her burned with curiosity. The kind of curiosity you couldn't ignore. She nodded slowly. "All right. Tomorrow." Chapter 3. The Plan for Adventure. Morning came bright and buzzing with cicadas. Lily met Mateo at the edge of the street, both of them with backpacks stuffed full, granola bars, bottles of water, notebooks, and even an old gardening shovel Lily had stolen from the shed. Mateo brandished a flashlight like a sword. Prepared for anything. They crossed the sleepy town, the sun already warming the rooftops, until they reached the dirt path that led into the forest. "Last chance to back out," Lily teased. Mateo grinned. "Not a chance. You and me. We're officially treasure hunters." With that, they disappeared into the trees. Chapter 4. Into the woods. The forest swallowed them whole. Branches arched overhead, scattering sunlight into golden speckles on the mossy ground. The air was damp and filled with the scent of pine. They followed the map carefully, comparing each bend in the trail to the inked lines. Birds flitted between branches, and somewhere in the distance, a woodpecker tapped out a rhythm. "This is unreal," Lily whispered. Mateo laughed. "I told you this wasn't just a doodle. Look, see how the trail curves. That's exactly what the map shows." Hours passed as they trekked deeper, the world of streets and houses fading behind them. For the first time, Lily felt like they had stepped into someone else's story. Chapter 5. The River of Glass. By afternoon, they reached a creek. Its water sparkled in the sunlight, so clear it reflected the sky like polished glass. "The River of Glass," Lily said softly. They followed its bank, searching for the next clue. Mateo skipped a stone across the water, but it slipped and splashed instead. He groaned. Guess I'm not cut out for pirate life. Lily rolled her eyes but smiled. Focus. The map said the stone of carvings comes after this. And as if the forest had heard her, the trail bent toward a rise where massive boulder stood, its surface etched with strange markings. Chapter 6. The Stone of Carvings. The boulder loomed above them, grey and weather-worn. Carved into its face were symbols, spirals, stars, and waves. Mateo ran his fingers along them. What do you think they mean? Lily studied the map. One margin note read, stars above, roots below. The way forward lies where they meet. She glanced from the carvings to the trees around them. Stars above, roots below. Suddenly, she noticed one carving shaped like an oak leaf. Mateo! It's pointing us to a tree. An oak tree. He looked around and whistled. There's about 1,000 oaks here. But Lily spotted one in the distance, larger than the rest, its branches stretching wide like arms. Something about it felt different. Not just any oak, she said. That one. Chapter 7. Shadows in the Forest. As they trekked toward the oak, the forest grew quieter. Even the birds had stilled. Every crunch of leaves beneath their shoes sounded louder than it should. Mateo froze suddenly. Did you hear that? A rustle came from the underbrush. Both of them held their breath. Branches shook, and a deer burst out, bounding away with a flash of its white tail. Mateo let out a laugh that was half relief, half nerves. Okay, maybe I am cut out for pirate life, but only if the treasure chest doesn't have fangs. Lily smirked, though her heart still thudded. They pressed on, the oak drawing nearer. Chapter 8. The Oak of Secrets. The oak was colossal, its trunk wide enough that 3 kids could barely link arms around it. Roots jutted from the earth like the bones of giants, twisting and curling. This has to be it, Lily whispered. The map's final margin note read, beneath the oak, where roots claw the earth, the captain's tail rests. Mateo dropped his backpack and pulled out the shovel. Guess it's time to dig. The soil was hard at first, but soon gave way. Sweat dripped down their foreheads, and dirt clung to their hands. Each scrape of the shovel sent their excitement soaring. Then, clunk. Their eyes widened. Chapter 9. The Buried Chest. Together, they scraped away dirt until the edge of a wooden chest emerged. It was small, weathered, its iron hinges rusted nearly black. Mateo's hands shook as he pried it open. The lid groaned, and inside lay. Not gold. Not jewels. But journals. Dozens of them, bound in cracked leather. A brass compass. Faded sketches of ships and distant islands. Lily lifted one of the journals carefully, opening to a page filled with neat handwriting. June 14th. The storm nearly claimed us. But the crew's courage held fast. They read in silence for a moment, the words carrying them across oceans, through storms, into the heart of adventure. Mateo whispered, "It's not treasure, it's his life." Chapter 10. The Captain's Legacy. They carried the chest back slowly, reverently, as if it contained gold all the same. Back in Lily's grandmother's attic, they pored over the journals. Captain Thornwell wrote of distant lands, storms survived, friendships forged at sea, and the thrill of discovery. Lily closed one journal and looked at Mateo. "We didn't find riches. We found a story." Mateo grinned. "Which is way cooler. Besides, now we have our own story too." They sat together in the fading light of the attic, the journals spread around them like a treasure hoard of memories. And they made a promise. One day, they would add their own adventures to the chest. Because treasure wasn't always gold, it was the stories you carried, the friendships you kept, and the courage to chase the unknown.